Talking more on the research tools, especially on marketing research uh, regarding e-commerce is pretty wide. Actually, we have a bunch of available software out there where you can conduct customized work on industries and markets and your brand and your company. There are really very different variety of choices out there. And I would like to talk a little bit on those choices, especially when it comes to data scraping tools that I mentioned earlier in our class. Data scraping tools are very useful in collecting collecting data automatically from the websites and online, actually any online environment. It's just automatically collecting data. When you give some parameters define parameters to the software or the scripts does the job, and they just collect the data on their own. And when you collect and put together the data into a single file, it is really very easy to work from there. It's in order to make sense of, for example, what the customers are talking about in the online forums, you can just have the computer go to each and every unique web page of the forums, and the threads, under the threads, they just you can also customize the collectors so that they only select the input from the customer or any person who is contributing to the website, and then copy that text into a single Excel sheet or into a single Word document. So scrapers are really important. Or you can just again set the data scraper to collect the pricing information of every item on Amazon or every item on eBay. Of course, it would take probably weeks to complete just for one day's collection of websites under the eBay domain, but it can do that. There is software that can do that. So I have listed down, I had attended a International Communication Association's conference last May, and there was a specific section only dedicated for analyzing big data. And from the researchers in that field, they came up with a list of most useful, most commonly used, and least problem-creating software out there that you can actually start using or start getting yourself a little bit more accustomed to if you're into this area. And I wanted to share these lists with you in case you are going to conduct any research in the area, or it may come in handy someday when you are making maybe a competitor analysis or something. So these are the links, and I'm sorry I didn't upload any of the lecture slides separately from the video, so that you may have a direct actual working hyperlinks. But I'm sure these are not very long, so you can just type in and see, or just Google Node Excel, for example. It's like learning a new language, but it's not impossible. So you can teach yourself how to use these things. And if you're already familiar with code writing or have a background of computer engineering, you can actually do these things really easily. There's another set of tools that uses semantic analysis, and semantic analysis also very helpful, because not only the number of, for example, threads or comments under a given forum, you may also want to understand what kind of people are talking about, for example, your brand. Are they just trashing it? Are they appreciating it? Or if there's a problem, you can immediately single out certain given words from among a text and respond, for example, in terms of customer relationships. You can just simply react to the automated search and find process to gather the troubleshooting or trouble talking threads, reviews, and then you can respond to them immediately. So there are a couple of alternatives that you can go with. There's Semantic, there's Lexalytics, and there's the sentiment analysis tools as well. These linguistic tools use certain given dictionaries to analyze and sort out the words used in a given text to categorize them under either positive, sad, happy, angry, or these. I'm of course talking in English language, in the context of English language, but there are other language specific linguistic dictionaries as well. Semantic dictionaries, dictionaries of emotion, dictionaries of, for example, in terms of political campaigns, there's a whole literature behind how to address certain groups, how to use, how a given set of, the given proximity of words distinguish the speech as being aggressive or being assertive, or what else could it be, or angry, or sometimes maybe passive, too passive, or stuff like that. So it's not specific to, of course, political campaigns. Brands use a lot of personality statements, a lot of information sharing speeches, which could be analyzed first and then shared. So I wanted to also share these kind of semantic analysis tools with you, and you can also check and see. For example, the last one here, no, I'm sorry, the second one here, the Lexalytics.com, does an online free trials. For example, you can select and copy and paste a text of your choice, and then see what kind of reactions, what kind of analysis you can get. Or you can just simply try it with a random Amazon review to see if it is negative, positive, how many I's were used, or how many me's were used, how selfish is the text, and stuff like that. So it's a fun thing to explore. And then we have a bunch of options, actually more than bunch. It's the full internet is full of social listening analytic tools, and social listening has become a very important market research technique in the given last 5 years. It has become very important. Starting with the Google alerts, you can set up an alert for any list of keywords that you are interested in, including your brand's name, the specific product's name, line's names, and maybe given phrases. For example, you can set the proximity by words. For example, you can use Toshiba, and within 2 words or 3 words, if there is problem, broke down, you can use these keywords next to Toshiba and use it as a customer service alert, okay, on the internet, because you don't want any reviews go unnoticed by your let's see, customer relation people, public relation people. You want to actually be on top of these kind of things, because any unnoticed thing on a widely shared popular website would eventually be acting negatively upon your general brand image, and you don't want that to be happening. And among the social listening tools, Hootsuite is one of the most popular one. And it's also, it is even included in some of the curricula for communication schools, how to use them, just like Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator and some of the video processing software. It's now included in curricula for undergrads, to how to use it and how to use it effectively. What it does is it has a handful of modules, applications within each. It can provide real-time detailed analysis, for example, for YouTube, for Instagram, Twitter. You can have a list of analytics that you can select from and pay for. In terms of social listening tools, majority of them are heavily dependent on text analysis, right? So they, what they do is to go through the text, look for the frequency or the kind of log data that the websites automatically keep for them. For example, YouTube videos, you have the number of views, right? You have the number of commentators, you have the number of people who share it with other people, number of HTTP requests, number of people who complete to view the video till the end. And these are the kind of things that the server automatically keeps log for. And for the rest of it, you can use third-party analytics such as Hootsuite or such as semantic analysis tools to first scrape the data from YouTube to see what the reviews are about, what the people's input are all about. And then you can also put them into a semantic tool to understand if there are like maybe 100 different input under the same video. It's just tiresome to go through all by hand, so you can just do it automatically through a software and see what are the emotions, whatever analysis that you're after. How many times your brand name is passed by. For example, you put up a brand advertisement video and see the reactions from among people and see how many of them are talking pro your brand and how many of them are actually talking against your brand, and what's going on. Is there discussion? These kind of things. They all depend on text, to sum it up. Whereas we see emergence of portals or platforms that people usually just share pictures, like Instagram or Pinterest, are heavily dependent on visual data. And visual data is difficult to analyze, and especially, for example, you may want to see how many times branded image is shared across the platforms, and it's very difficult to track the same image. Now we have Google image search, which is still in its infancy compared to its broader text, where like you have almost endless options to gather and analyze text data. We have very limited sources for visual data. One of them is Correlate. Correlate is to analyze visual data, to track visual data. Actually identifies the same image, and it provides you with the data of the shares, the number of access by the social media. For example, how many people tweeted it, how many people shared it on Facebook, and some real-time data as well. So it's really very helpful. You may want to use. And for Twitter, we have Topsy. Actually, we have, like, again, an endless amount of social media listening tools directed towards, they almost always include the big five, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and Facebook. But they also provide somewhat limited keyword searches and stuff. Whereas Topsy, it provides you with the whole history of Twitter, starting from the scratch. So when you search for something, you get almost anything that has been ever on Twitter.